Hey, hi guys, how are you all? So this is Sai Kiran, Saurabh Gupta, sir, and Umang Sadhwani, Professor Umang Sadhwani. We guys are back again with our mobile app development program. This is the first time ever we are launching actually a mobile app development program, and we guys are very much interested towards this whole part. And we guys are yet to have our all students coming and joining us. I think yet they are not there. पता नहीं क्या
Yes.
चल रहा है अभी तक कोई दिख नहीं रहा मुझे. सो हेलो एवरीवन. सो आइदर आई मीन हमने जल्दी चालू कर दिया या तो हमने लेट कर दिया, कुछ तो किया है. सो okay, so inside mobile app I have like what, more than 5,000, like 5,000 6,000 बच्चे हैं जिन्होंने रजिस्टर किया है. कभी दिख नहीं रहा इधर क्या हो रहा है इधर. ठीक है. So I'm kind of like strange. Okay, hi everyone. So hi guys, hi. So we guys are here to start our mobile development ka pura program, and let's build what we say mobile apps inside this whole program. So that's what the baseline is. And let me introduce you to your superstar trainer, that is Saurabh Gupta, sir. So he is a kind of a star-rated trainer at LetsUpgrade. So hi, sir. How are you? And
Uh,
it's been very long. How is your health?
yes, it's good, sir. It's good. Good and ready
Okay,
to go.
okay. So now, and how are you, Professor Umang Sadhwani?
I'm great.
Yes, अभी now you're thinking कि sir वापस आ गया प्रोफेसर बुलाने के लिए, right? So guys, I mean, let me introduce you to Umang. Umang is our like program coordinator for this whole program, and she will be taking it ahead in terms of what we say our whole whatever questions you are having. She will be the person who will be bridging all the questions between you guys and Saurabh sir. Even I'll be a active student, an active backbencher in this classes. Okay, so I mean, even I am kind of like interested to learn Flutter, by which you all guys will be start doing the program. Flutter in a sir, the
Yes, yes, Flutter. Flutter.
Flutter. Okay. So you guys will be learning Flutter. So Flutter is a framework. I mean, sir will be providing you all the details regarding Flutter and everything else in just a few minutes. And before that, hey guys, hi, how are you all? So I'm yet to see you all guys. I mean, what we say messaging in the YouTube. बहुत कम मैसेजेस आ रहे हैं, बहुत कम स्टूडेंट्स है. सर एक काम करेंगे, अगर बहुत ज्यादा कम स्टूडेंट्स आए ना आज, तो अपन उसको लेके डे 0 बना देंगे एंड कल से अपन डे 1 स्टार्ट करेंगे वापस से.
Okay.
So I mean, we guys will continue whatever we are doing. We will not stop. But I mean, I think there is a small problem in my email sending or something. So I'll just have a look at it. But yeah, apart from that, let's start. So why Flutter and not native? So sir is the better person to answer everything, uh, and he will be. So why not Kotlin? Okay, see, Flutter is also built upon Kotlin, so don't worry about it. It's a wrapper which is built on top of Kotlin. So why Flutter? Flutter is something using which you will be able to code in six different platforms. Okay, six different platforms at the same time. You start coding along with Android, iOS, and then you go ahead along with what we say that your Windows, iOS. I mean, like iOS is Mac. Mac, even the Mac softwares you can make. I mean, MacBook OS. And then at the same time, you will able to also code in terms of Linux. You will be also able to code in terms of Windows. हो गया. बाकी तो हो गया. मैं 5 बोला शायद, right? बाकी में एक आध भी बच गया. आप देख लो सर. कितना आपको पता है. ठीक है. And now taking it ahead from here. Yes, over to you, Saurabh sir. So what is that we are planned today to teach?
So, like actually, like for today, like whenever we start with like mobile application development, the toughest task is to like set up everything, right? Because
Yeah.
we need big softwares in this. Like we are going to have Android Studio, then we are going to like set up the Flutter SDK and a lot of things. Then we have to again like set up our phone, the emulator where we're going to run our apps and see the output. So yes, like today will be all about the introduction. We'll understand what exactly is Flutter, how it works, what are the advantages and what are the disadvantages, and then after that we'll see how to set up everything, and we'll also run our first app today. But yes, and also we'll see like what kind of language is like used in Flutter, and what do we have to learn and all that. So basically, yes, the setup, the introduction, and the language introduction, that like the new language that we're going to use today. So that's all about today. This is what will be happening in the whole lecture today, and this is the like most important part in the whole lecture. Like in the all of the sessions after this is one of the most important sessions to understand how to set up everything. Because a lot of times what happens is A lot of people know how to code, a lot of people know how to like code apps and see their output, but they don't know how to set up. They get confused while setting it up. So yes, that is something that what we're going to learn today.
Got it, sir. Got it. So we will be setting up the whole environment today. So let's start, sir. Let's not, put more time into this whole thing. Let's start, and me and Umang will be your, what we say, we guys will be there, and you guys, you can take it away.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, just give me a hi if you're there. On YouTube, I can see a few chats, and on the chat of Let's Upgrade, I can also see some chats. So just give me a hi. Just tell me how excited you are to learn mobile application development with me. Okay, so just give me some hi or show some excitement so that I can see, right? Because I'm very excited to share this whole thing about mobile application development with you, right? And I also see some familiar names here, like who
Prasad Sawant.
yeah, I can see
Prasad
Prasad
Sawant,
Sawant.
very familiar name.
And I also saw
Very
Varinder.
excited.
Yeah,
Dollar is
so I
also there, and Mandeep is there. Okay, so Ayush is there. So I
yes.
actually even see a lot of like what we say like related names here. So hi guys, every one of you. So super excited. Let's start.
Okay, then, guys, let's start then. So now, first of all, we'll talk about what exactly is Flutter, right? We'll not go in very deep because that is what we have to talk about through the whole course. So just for understanding, like for today, right? So for the basic understanding, what exactly is Flutter? Flutter is nothing but a mobile UI development framework, right? Or you can say mobile front-end development framework. That means whatever apps you see in your mobile will be able to develop that. Whatever you see, the screens, the buttons, the backgrounds, the effects. When you click something, something happens, right? So everything that you do on a mobile app, everything that you see on a mobile app, that is what Flutter is going to create for you, right? So Flutter is nothing but a mobile UI development framework, right? Created by Google and used by a lot of people, right? So that is it. That is what Flutter is. Now, a lot of people are asking why we are not using Kotlin, why we are not using Java, right? To like create Android, like create apps. Why we are using Flutter? So now the first thing to understand is why we are using Flutter. Flutter is basically a framework that helps you to create hybrid apps. So basically, you create one app that you can run both on Android and iOS, right, in their native ways. Like it's not like a hybrid, I'm using the same app, right? I'm using the same app in Android and iOS. I create two different apps, but I have to only code for once. So I code it only once, then the framework converts it for iOS specific device, and also it converts it for Android specific device. So I code it only once, but two applications can be created from that. One can run on iOS and one can run any Android platform. It can be your Gear, it can be your Android TV, it can be your Android phone mostly, right? So that is what Flutter is. See, if you just go on Android Studio and start coding in Java or Kotlin, so whatever you code is only for Android, right? If you go on iOS, then you use Xcode and you like code in Swift. You basically create applications for iOS. That means if you are not using Flutter or framework like this, basically you have to create two separate applications, like even if they're working same, but you have to create two separate applications, one in Android Studio using Java or Kotlin for Android, one in MacBook using your Swift programming language, right, for like to create a specific application for iOS, right? So
Yeah.
that is the thing, right? So you have to create two apps, but using Flutter you have to create only one, and that framework will help you to create two native applications in the background. Is that clear? And yes, we can also develop what you call browser applications. Like, yes, it can be also used as a web page. So that is one of the best things. Again, you can also use your Flutter applications as a website if it is needed. A lot of times it is not needed because we don't prefer it. We prefer normally to create our web pages in HTML, CSS because that is more preferable. But yes, for applications, we are always going to use like Flutter. Okay, so that is it. That's the thing, right? Flutter helps you to create. Flutter helps you to write it only once, but you get two separate applications, one for iOS and one for Android. Right? Is that clear? Is that clear, everyone? Now, see, when you code with Android Studio, right? You want to only code for Android. You go select a language like Java or Kotlin and create your Android application. Then you again write the same logic in Swift and create your iOS application. But by using Flutter, you're going to use a single code base. You're going to use a single programming language to write applications for both. And the programming language that we are going to, like, I'll just open a notepad so that I can write the things that I'm saying so that you don't miss it. So the single programming language that we are going to use is Dart. Like Dart is one programming language introduced in Flutter, right? This is the programming language that we are going to use in Flutter. So like this is the programming language which Flutter is built upon. Flutter framework is built on Dart language. So that is why we are going to learn this first. Is that clear? Yes, Mohammad
Got it.
Danish, you can use laptop. Yes, we can use laptop because that is where we are going to code. So yes, we have to use laptop actually. Okay, so Dart
Got
is
it.
the programming language. And now, what is next? So now, when this like what do you call concept of hybrid application development started, when the concept of this hybrid application development started, where we thought of writing code only once but creating applications for two different operating systems, right? When it started, then there was something called as Ionic. When it started, like maybe in 2012 or 13, I don't exactly remember the year, but at that time there were also frameworks like Ionic, which was dependent on Angular, JavaScript, right? So in that case, they were hybrid applications. That means they were not actually applications. They were some kind of web pages, responsive web pages that we can view as an application in Android and in iOS. So that's how we were working. They were not actual applications. They were just responsive web pages which we can view in like mobile properly, and basically we convert them to applications and we use them. They were not proper applications. But that was the concept. That was the concept of hybrid applications. And now in 2021, we have Flutter, in which you write a single code, but you actually get two native applications. When I mean native, that means exactly like it's not a web page now, it's a clear application that can be used in Android and that can be used in iOS. So basically your Dart code is internally converted to Java or Kotlin and Swift internally. So you're actually getting a proper native application. Not like when the concept started, we used to have web pages, responsive web pages converted to applications that were not actually application, but they used to look like that. But that was the concept. That was the time when it all started, this concept of hybrid applications. And today we are here that we can code only once, but we can get two proper native applications. Is that clear? So I hope the concept of Flutter is clear to everyone now. And the programming language that we are going to use, Dart.
Got it.
Okay. So now, if you talk about Dart, like maybe you have used C, C++, Java, Python a lot, but like this is one of programming languages. Like this is one of the programming languages that is very new to the world, right? In college also you go, you don't learn Dart. In anywhere you don't learn Dart normally, right? Because it is currently only working with Flutter. You're not using it anywhere for normal programming or something like that. That's why it's very, very new, right? But don't worry about anything. It still holds the basics exactly same as all other languages. It has loops, it has conditions, it has classes, objects, everything like all other languages, right? It follows the schemes of, you can say, JavaScript and C++. So these are the two languages that Dart follows. So basically a lot of syntaxes, a lot of formulas, a lot of things that you write will multiple times match JavaScript or C++. So if you know a little bit of JavaScript, if you know a little bit of C++, that's amazing. Then Dart will be like very, very easy for you. But if you don't know anything, don't worry. We'll take one session. I'll just take one session to completely teach you Dart. Is that clear? So tomorrow will be that session, most probably, where I'll teach you Dart completely. I'll give you all the things. But for that, I'm assuming that you people like at least know any programming language, not in detail, but you at least know, like you have worked with C, you have worked with C++ or JavaScript, then that will be really great. But for people who don't know like a single programming language at all, don't worry, I'll still try to explain you to perfect. Is that clear, everyone?
Yeah.
But if you
Yeah.
have a background, it's amazing. Okay, so this is the programming language. Now then, so now, okay, there was one more question, why we are using Flutter and why we are not using React Native. So again, React Native is again the same thing, right? Just like Flutter, React Native also helps you to create hybrid applications which are native to their environments, right? Which where you write a single code, but again you get two different applications, right? Again you get two different applications, one for iOS and one for Android. So why we are like going with Flutter? Now, first of all, when you use React Native, now like it's again the same thing. They are competitors. You can use any one of them. Both of them have a little bit of advantages and disadvantages. I use both and I like them both. But don't worry. Throughout the course, I'll tell you the differences and I'll tell you why. In which cases Flutter is above and in which cases React Native is above. Right. But I have used both, and I'll tell you, development wise, I prefer Flutter because it's a lot easier to understand. It is a lot easier to write, right? But yes, React Native is also simple because it is completely dependent on JavaScript. So if you're a JavaScript developer, then React Native is like for you. You can easily learn it like in 2 or 3 days. If you know JavaScript, if you know React, React Native will be like very simple for you, right? But I have used both, and according to me, Flutter gives us a lot of uh, what do you say, a free environment to develop upon, and it has a lot of tools available. In React Native, you have to like, if you want to create something very native, you have to go in Android and code it, right? You like, let's say there is some feature that is very native to particular Android device, then in that case you cannot code it in React Native, you cannot code it in JavaScript. You have to go in Android and then write an Android code for it. So there are few things that React Native does not yet provide, but in Flutter you have everything. You have a very simple line of code for everything. You can create floating action buttons, you can create drawer menus, you can create anything by just writing 2 or 3 lines of code. But in React Native, if I want to create a drawer menu, then I have to again go and learn the whole navigation thing. Then again, if I don't find it like very pleasing to me, whatever I wanted, then I again have to go and search for drawer navigation packages, or I have to create it by my own, or at the end I have to go in Android and create it separately. But Flutter gives you everything. Flutter literally gives you everything. So this is what it is. That's why we have selected Flutter for you people for the Android development. Okay. So I hope the concept is cleared. And yes, for people asking who Flutter is basically a Google product. So it is provided by Google. Okay. Okay, now then I feel everyone has understood all the concept, the differences, and why we are using Flutter. So that now we can move ahead and set it up, because it will take a little time. It will take around maybe 20 to 25 minutes to set up all the things. Okay, guys. So can we move ahead now? Can we move ahead to the setup of Flutter? Okay, and don't worry about anything. I'm going to teach you everything. So don't worry about Dart and anything. We'll learn everything. Okay. So now to set up, the first thing that you require, right, is, you know it. We are not going to use it, but you still need it. We're going to use it maybe only 10% of the Android Studio, but you still need it. So the first thing that you want is Android Studio. You have to download Android Studio because it is the requirement of Flutter. Flutter requires it. So you have to download Android Studio. Okay. So this is the first thing that you have to what you call download. So you can just go on Google, search for it, and just press on download Android Studio. Once you get it, like, see, right now I'm not going to do it because it's a live session. If it take 15 minutes, then we'll like waste our 15 minutes, right? So that's why I'm not doing it right now. I have already installed it, but I just want you to understand this. See, just go on here, click on this button. You'll have Android Studio exe in your PC. Just how you install any application, just double click on it, like do the next thing, and then it will install, and then it will open again. It will by default install some packages, and then you're ready to go, right? So that's the thing that you have to do. After that, what you have to do, I'll tell you, don't worry. After opening that, after installing, what you have to do, I'm going to teach you right now. But that installation part, I hope that everyone will do it for now. Okay, so just click on it. It will be downloaded. Just double click, next. It will be installed. Then it will open and again install some basic packages, and that's it, done. Okay. And if you'll get if you people are confused, like if you try it today and tomorrow if you tell me that okay, we are unable to install Android Studio, don't worry. I'll give you some videos on how to do that, or I'll create a video myself and share it with you. Is that clear, everyone? So don't worry, just try it today. If you're unable to do it, then tomorrow I'll share a video with you, either by someone else or I'll create it for you. Okay, but that's simple. That's what you have to do. Simply download it, install it. That's it. That's done. Okay, now then, Once you have installed Android Studio, okay, then we just open it. So I just go on Android Studio and then I just open it. So once you have installed everything, settled perfectly, then I'm going to show you what you have to do now once you have installed it properly. So now I'm opening it. It will take a little time because Android Studio is a very big software. So if you have a like a 2 GB RAM PC or 4 GB RAM PC, I'll tell you to like increase your RAM. So if you're thinking of pursuing mobile development as your career, I'll suggest you people to use at least 8 GB RAM or 6 GB RAM PCs. Don't use 2 GB RAM, 4 GB RAM. Like 4 GB RAM, still it will work slow, but 2 GB, don't install Android Studio. Your PC will like burn. Okay, so because it's a very big software, that's what I'm saying it. So if you're planning to use Android Studio for mobile development, then please try to use minimum 4 GB of RAM PC. Okay. No, Sheikh, no, you don't have to install IntelliJ. Don't worry. Okay, so is that clear, everyone? So I'm just opening it. Just give me a time. Okay, now it has opened. Now you can see it here. Okay, so I've opened it. So now I'll just read out the options for you. So this is what it looks like when you open Android Studio for the first time. You have this create new project, by which you can create a new Android project. You have this open an existing project. So if you have already an Android Studio project, you can open with it. That is what we'll learn throughout the course. Don't worry about it. Then you can also get from version control. That it means from Git or something like that. So you can also get projects from there. You can debug an APK. So if you have already like if you have an application that is already built, you can also debug that application, right? Then you can also import a project from somewhere if it is like an older project, right? It older Android versions, you can also import that. But we don't like want to do all that. These options right now, it's not for us, because for this course we are not going to use Android Studio. For this essentials course, we are not going to use Android Studio, right? But yes, it is still required. That's why you have to install it. V3, yes, you can do it in Linux. Yes, why not? There is also Android Studio for Linux, so yes, you can do it. It will be the same. So now these options are not for us right now. The option that we are going to use here is just go in configure, and then in that you have this AVD manager. That is Android Virtual Device Manager. Now, what is Android Virtual Device? You can say it's a virtual phone. It's a virtual phone. It will be a phone available in your PC, working exactly like a normal device, like almost like a normal device, where you can run your apps. Right. So now there are two places where you can see your apps, where you can see the output of your apps. One in your device, one in this Android virtual device. Right. So I'm gonna show you both how to run it in this Android virtual device, or it is also called as emulator. So remember this word. You can also call it AVT, Android virtual device, or you can also call it emulator. Or I'm going to show you how to run it in real device. So don't worry. In the throughout the course, I'm going to teach you both. Then it's your personal preference. Normally, when you have RAM, when you have good enough RAM, don't go for your real device. Just run it in emulator. It's fine. But if you don't have RAM, because when you run a virtual device in your PC, it uses a lot of RAM. That's why if you have less RAM in your PC, always go for a real device. Okay. But if you have a good RAM and everything, then go for virtual device. That is like amazing. It works perfectly fine. Yes, we are covering from basics, Mandeep. Don't worry. We are covering from basics. I'm going to teach you Flutter from very basics. So now then, the first thing that we are going to do is create a new device so that we can see our output there, right? So let's create a new device. So just click on this AVD manager. So I already have a device, but don't worry about that. I'll show you how to create a new device. Okay, so see, I already have a device. That's why it is looking like this. You can see it. The name is Pixel 3a. This is the resolution. This is the API level. So don't worry about it, because I am going to create a new virtual device. So let's do it. So here you have a button. So for you, if you're installing Android Studio for the first time, this thing will not be there because you have not created anything. So what you have to do is you have to just click on create virtual device. So I'm going to click it. So now again, it will open a window for me where I can select all the features that I want in my phone. Okay, so see, for which thing you want to create a device. You want to create a device for TV, you want to create a phone device, you want to create a Wear OS device, you want to create a tablet or an automotive. Right now, we need a phone. Now you can select whatever phone you want. So you can say, okay, I want a Pixel 4, right? You can select anything. I select a Pixel 4. Then I say next. Okay. And then, okay, I think I don't have what you call a package. So see,
Sir,
these
can you
are,
just, excuse me, sir? Can
yes,
you
yes, tell
just
me.
zoom in your screen a bit?
Zoom, and I think I have to change the resolution then because we can't zoom this. Okay, let me just change the resolution, guys, so that you can see it properly. Don't worry, right? Don't Yes, if you guys already have Android Studio, that's amazing then. Because how to install Flutter, I'm still yet to show. So don't worry, I'll show you how to install Flutter and how to connect it and how to start using it. So don't worry, guys. If you already have Android Studio, that means you're one step ahead. That's it. So now, what I want is I want to change the resolution, advanced display settings, maybe, and yes, here we go. I'll just change it to 800 to 600, and I feel after that it will be zoomed. Apply, and I really hope that you can see it for now, guys. Is it visible now? Can you tell me? Is it visible now, Umang? Can you
Yes,
also
sir.
see it?
Now it's more visible, nicely visible.
Okay, then. So now, guys, see. So this was the okay. So now you can again click on create virtual device, and then see now everything will look small because we have a very big window now. So in Pixel, I select this Pixel 4. Then I click on next, and now you can select any of the what do you call the Android versions you want. You can select R, you can select Q, you can select Pi, Nougat, anything that you want. But right now I can't see everything properly because it's a very big window. So what I'm gonna select is Nougat. So let's go down there. Yes. So I'm not gonna select Oreo. I'm gonna select Nougat. Now basically I don't have it. That's why it is installing it. Okay, but that's fine. It will take a little time, but that's cool. That's cool. Let it install it. Let it install. Okay. Till the time we'll do something else. See now that OS is basically 927.4 MB. So yes, it will take a little time, but that's fine. Is that clear, everyone? So are we cleared with how to create a virtual device? But see, we are not finished yet, but that's fine. We are there. Is that clear, everyone? Are we cleared with this thing? So create virtual device, then select any of your operating systems, whatever you want. You want Nougat, you want Oreo, you want R, Q, Pi, or anything behind it. You can select anything. Click. It will take a little time to download for the first time. So we'll just minimize it for now. Okay. Let me open this window at least. Okay. Now then, the next thing that we have to understand is, so till the time it is installing, till the time the device is getting installed and created, we'll see how to actually set up Flutter in our computer. Kaushal, it's a so SDK is nothing but software development kit. So guys, like for people who don't know what exactly is SDK, SDK is software development kit that basically holds all the packages, all the libraries that you will need to create, to write your application, to run your application, and all the environment packages. So just like you have JDK in Java development kit, right, which has all the packages, the runtime environment to run Java, the libraries that you're going to use while writing code. Exactly, you have SDK, right? Software development kit. Simple. All the packages, libraries that you're going to use to write the code, the runtime environment that will help you to run your code. So all that things are included in SDK, right? So that is what it is. And Pragati is asking, sir, is it mandatory to use emulator? Not at all. You can use a real device. It's totally fine. I'll teach you how to use it. So don't worry about it. Okay. Don't worry about it at all. I'm also going to teach you how to use a real device. So if you people have less RAM, you can always go for a real device. But it's not mandatory to use emulator. So don't worry. I'm going to show you both. Now then, let's, till the time it is getting installed, let's set up Flutter in our PC. So again, it's a very big thing to download and install. So I'm just going to show you how to do that. Okay. So now then, what you can do is you can just write Flutter. Okay, it will take you to website, this flutter.dev. That's where you have to go. Click on this. Okay, then again, see, it has like, it is just like design beautiful apps and everything. What we are interested in, get started. So just click on get started, and then if you come here, you have these four options. In which OS you are trying to install Flutter: Windows, Mac OS, Linux, or Chrome OS, right? So now depending on your PC, click any of these four. So for now, I'm just clicking on Windows because my OS is Windows. So I just click on Windows. Okay, and now then, if you go down here, see, get the Flutter SDK. So again, it's Flutter SDK, Flutter Software Development Kit, which will help you, which will like hold all the packages and libraries that will help you to write Flutter code and to run Flutter code, right? So you have to download this. Okay, and don't worry, you just have to download it once. You just have to download it once. Okay, so we are going to see how to set up Flutter now. Is that clear, everyone? So now the next thing that you do is you click on this and it will start downloading. So it will be around 630 MB, 635 MB. So it's a very big file. Okay, so it is a very big file. So it will take around 10 minutes to download. Right now I'm not doing it because I already have it downloaded. Okay, but you just, it's simple. Just click on it. It will be downloaded. That's it. And it's not even a exe file, so you don't have to do anything. Now please focus, because see, when you install a environment or something like that, you will always get a exe file where you can double click and next, and it will be installed. In Flutter, that's not the case. You don't get a exe file. All the things you have to set up by yourself. So please focus. The next 5 minutes are very important. Okay, so click on this button, download it. It will download a zip file for you. I'll show you where it is right now. So I have already did it because it will take around 10 minutes. It's very big file. So if I go in my downloads, you can see this. Okay, can you see this? Flutter Windows, exactly the same thing. It's a zip file. Now what I did is, you just have to right click, just do extract all. Okay, so you just perform extract all. It will extract it because it's a zip file, right? So we have to unzip it, and that's how we do it. We just extract it, right click, extract all. Now once it is extracted, it will look something like this. Okay, but now this there's nothing there because I have copied the content and pasted it somewhere else. That's what you also have to do it. Okay, but don't worry, I'll show you what is in there. So now see, you'll get a folder like this. Now inside this is completely empty. I'll tell you what was in there. So what I did is, after getting the things, I copied everything from here. So basically what will be here, there will be a Flutter folder here. That's it. In this folder, in this extracted zip folder, you just double click on it. If you open it, there will be a Flutter folder here. That's it. So what I did, I just copied it, or you can just cut it. Then I go in my C drive and I created a folder named SRC. That's what you have to do. Again, I just created a folder named SRC. You can also create something else. It's totally up to you. You can give it your name. I can create a folder named mobile. I can create a folder named Samsung. I can create a folder named Saurabh. It's totally up to me. So I created a folder named SRC, and inside that I pasted that folder. That's it. This Flutter folder was there in that zip file as well. I just cut it from there and paste it here. That's all. Right? So don't paste it anywhere else, like in program files or something like that. Don't put it in program files. That is a restriction. I just come in C drive. You can go in any drive, right? You can go in D drive, F drive, H drive, anywhere you want. I personally prefer C drive because this is where all my softwares are, right? So I want my SDK to be here only. So I create a folder named SRC and I paste that folder here. So this Flutter was the folder that was present there in that particular folder, right? So that is what you have to paste. So I paste it here, and now inside this you have all of this, all the packages, libraries, files, everything that you require to start developing Flutter applications. Is that clear? Is the download and extraction clear to everyone, guys? Please tell me. No, Ayush, it's not very big, so it does not require large RAM. I basically why I say you people to have RAM, because if you want to use emulator, then you should have RAM, because emulator itself will take 2 GB of your RAM, around 2 GB. So then you can think like 2 GB is already removed from your PC, right? So that's why you have to see this. No, Akshit, no, Flutter apps are not at all slow. Flutter apps are very fast, very quick. Okay. Is that clear, everyone? So are we cleared with this? So now this is the folder, but now in this case you don't have to open anything because this is just the SDK. You will never come here actually. It's just that. Now the next thing that you have to do is go inside bin. The next thing that we have to do is you have to set a path, because see, when you download a exe, double click, do next and install something, in that time the path is by default set. It is internally set by your PC. In this case, we have not installed an application. We have extracted a file and we are setting everything up by ourselves. So now the next thing that we have to do is set up a path for Flutter, so that the command prompt can recognize the Flutter command and we can create projects and run projects. So the next thing you have to do is you have to come inside bin. Just come inside bin and get the complete path. So I get this path, C drive / src / flutter / bin. So this is the path that you have to get. So get this path, copy this path, and now the next thing that we have to do is we have to go on and set up an environment variable, and that's very simple. So I just search for system variables. Okay, so you will have a window like this, right? You might have seen it a lot of times. So now I just go on environment variables, right? I have 4 GB RAM laptop. I'm going to increase its RAM if it were to add SSD for mobile app development. 4 GB RAM laptop. I'm going to increase its RAM if it were to add. Yes, it is worth. It is worth. If you're increasing RAM, it is always worth. Shivam. So yes, it's fine, Shivkans. You can add RAM. That's great, actually. Okay. So now see, the next thing is click on environment variables. Then now in this user variables thing, go on the path. Go on this path. Edit that. So depending on your like version of Windows, it looks different, but that's fine. You just have to add a new path. So see, I already have a Flutter path here. If you can see, what I'm going to do is I'll just delete it. So see, now I already had a path here. I don't worry. I don't care about it. Leave it there. Just put a semicolon after whatever path you have and paste the new path. That's it. In like the latest version of Windows, it will be like a table where you have different paths in different rows. In that, it's a lot easier to add. You can just click on a row and add a new path. But in this case, whatever path is there already, don't worry about it. Just put a semicolon and paste your new path. That's it. See, you can see it, the path. C, src, flutter, bin. That's it. Okay, okay, and okay. Is this cleared? Guys, is the setting up of path cleared? Everyone, please tell me. Are we cleared with the setting up of path? Guys, come on, tell me. Everyone? That's great. Now, once you have did it, see now our this thing is also done, right? So let's finish this. You can see the install the device has the OS is installed. So let's finish this. Okay. Now we can just go on next. Now you can name it anything. You can name it anything. It's totally up to you. See, once you have installed the OS, I have installed Nougat right now, right? I installed Nougat. So now after installing, just press on next. You come here. Now you can give a name to your device. So we can give it LU lectures, because this is the emulator that I'm going to use for all the lectures now. So LU lectures. Now see, this is the description, the name, the actual device, the OS in your device, that is Nougat. Now, in which way, like what will be your startup orientation? Like when it runs initially, when you see the emulator for the first time, how it should look. After that, you can change it anytime. It's totally fine. But for the first time, so I will make it portrait. That's fine because I don't want it landscape in this case. So portrait is fine. Then your performance, always put it automatic. It's totally fine. Basically, depending on your PC, depending on your graphics level, it will reduce or increase the power level, right? The performance. Device frame, enable device frame so that you can see the framing and easily move your emulator here and there in your computer, right? So do that. Yes, Shad, you can download anything. I downloaded Nougat. You can download Oreo. You can download Pi. You can download R. Anything. You can also go and download Jelly Bean or ice cream sandwich. I don't know what were the names, but these are the names, right? So you can download anything. Okay, Nougat is like in a very stable condition right now because this Oreo and Pi are just like they are still on only 50% of devices, but Nougat is on around 80% of devices. So that's why I select Nougat, right? And then that's it. So, and also see, once, like, these are the basic information. If you want to change a few more things, you can just click on this show advanced settings, click on this. Now see, you can have all this also. Front camera emulated, back virtual scene. Then what about the network? You want speed full, you want latency none, just like a normal application. Then what do you want, cold boot or quick boot? Always try to select a quick boot, because uh, it will always store a state from the previous run. Then once you run it again, it will again run it from there. It stores cache and everything. So quick boot is always great. Okay, now here we go. How much RAM you want to give it to your emulator? So you can see I have given it like around 1 GB of RAM. You can give it 2 GB, 3 GB, 4 GB, anything, right? So see, you can select. Has it hanged? I cannot change anything. I don't know why. It is not allowing me to change, but that's fine. Cool. We'll check it afterwards. So see, by default, it has selected around 1 GB RAM. Okay, Shad is asking an error occurred while preparing SDK package, Google API. I think it's an internet issue, kind of. While preparing SDK package. So this is just a warning, right? What is the actual error, Shad? Can you paste that? Can you see the actual error? If you scroll it down and up, you can see the actual error, because it's like an error occurred. I want to see the actual error, why the connection was closed. So can you paste that? So by reading the warning message, I can see what is your problem. Okay, guys. So now see, you can also increase your internal storage, but no need of it, because we are not going to do a lot of things, right? So that's fine. Whatever is there, that's fine. You can also reduce it. It's totally up to you. So 1 GB RAM, right? Uh, 2 GB of internal storage that we are not going to use anyway. And SD card, 512, that's fine, because we are not going to use it, but that's fine. It's just you're emulating a device. It's not a real it's not a real device, right? It's just you're emulating a device, right? It's not a real device, so that's fine. And then device frame, yes, it is enabled. Keyboard input, yes, please enable it, so that whenever you click on input boxes, or whenever you try to type something, it should get you the keyboard input, right? So you need that. So hide it, all the basic things, and just finish it, and that's it. So now it will again take a moment, maybe 5 to 10 minutes to create the device, but that's fine. Connection closed. Shad, I'm only getting connection closed. I want the reason. Do you have error? Akshit, I think it depends on the needs. Everyone prefers it. Everyone prefers it. So a lot of, like, Google develops a lot of their things in Flutter, and a lot of companies are developing in Flutter. See, it's like this. See, React Native is provided to you by Facebook. Flutter is provided to you by Google. Now, basically, it's like, in my case, I prefer what? Flutter. So when I go in some company, I'll tell them, okay, I know Flutter. Let's start developing things in Flutter. So all the things, all people under me will start developing in Flutter. So it works like this. Or sometimes companies also research, like, what is the best, what should we use. So a lot of companies might be using Flutter. A lot of companies might be using React Native. A lot of companies might be using what you call the old ways of using Android Studio and Java. But it totally depends, whatever they like, right? So yes, a lot of MNCs are using Flutter. Yes. See, when you go for a job, right? You don't, first of all, you don't introduce yourself as a Flutter developer. You introduce yourself as a mobile application developer. Then after that, you tell them, okay, I develop mobile applications in Flutter, right? So if you want to ask, I can tell you what is the average package. Like, I exactly don't know actually, but it's fine. I feel for an average package for a mobile application developer, so if you're starting up, right? If you're just out of college, then you might get around what do you call, two, like in India, I'm saying, you might get around 2 to 5. If you're starting, if you're just getting out of college, now what kind of experience you have, what kind of interview you give, it depends on that. It may vary from 2 to 5. But if you're like 2 years of experience, if you have 2 years of experience in the mobile application development field, then you might around get above 5 in the start only, around like from starting from 5 to 10. If you have 5 years of experience, you might get plus 10, 12, 13, 18, depending on whatever the experience level you have. So whenever you go for a job, first of all, you're a mobile application developer. After that, you're a Flutter developer. Okay, so it depends on that. Is that clear, Akshit? I hope it is clear. So first of all, you always introduce yourself as a mobile application developer, not as a Flutter developer. So what is an approx file size of generated API? Because in React Native, in a simple application start from 50 MB. Yes, so that is one thing, right? Again, in React Native, you have Expo, right? So if you normally create an application in React Native, it will start from 20 MB, 25 MB. But if you use Expo, it goes to 50 MB, 52 MB, or like above 40 MB. In this Flutter, the basic start maybe it's around 12 to 15 MB, and after that, depends on whatever assets you add in your application. If you have videos, you have audios, you have image files, if you have a lot of files, you have a lot of code, depending on that it increases. So yes, in terms of file size, Flutter has a smaller file size. Okay, Sharat? So yes, in terms of file size, Flutter has a smaller size, and React Native also start is 20 MB. But yes, it is without Expo. If you're using Expo, then it goes to above 40 MB by default. Is that clear? Okay. Now then, we have our device. Cool. That's amazing. Now, so now we have our virtual device ready, and now we also have our Flutter settled up. Now let's see if Flutter is actually running. So now what we do, we downloaded this. What we did, we downloaded the zip, we extracted it, we created a src folder in the C drive, we pasted the Flutter there, then we get into bin, copied the path, and entered it in the user variables. Okay. Yes, you can use Genymotion. It's totally fine, Satya. But I think it's paid nowadays, right? Genymotion used to be free, but I think it's paid now. But yes, if you have the what you call membership, you can use it. Not a problem at all. You can use Genymotion. Okay, guys. So now we have now settled up the AVD, the virtual device. We have settled up the Flutter SDK. Now let's see how to start with it. So now, first of all, open a command prompt. If your Flutter SDK is settled up properly, this should run in your computer. If it is not running, that means it is not settled up properly. So just go on, write Flutter in your command prompt. If this command executes, gives you proper output, whatever is intended to do, then that means it is perfectly working. If it is giving errors, then the path settle up, like either you have mistaken in path or you have mistaken in downloads or something like that. So let's see. Enter. Okay, and let's wait for a minute. It takes a time for the first time. Now you can see it is giving me the like all the options that I can use with Flutter, all the commands that I can use with Flutter, right? It is basically providing me with the help or documentation of the Flutter command. So that's great. That basically means my Flutter is installed perfectly and it is working. Is that cleared? Now, the next thing after installing Flutter that you actually have to do is run this. Okay. Now again, guys, the code editor that I'm going to use is going to be VS Code. I'm not going to use Android Studio. I'm going to use VS Code. So also install that. You can also do that just by going on internet and just searching for VS Code download. If you are already my student from some lectures, you might be already having it. But if you don't have it, just download it from here. It's again a simple application. It's just a code editor. So just download it for whatever OS you have, Windows, Mac, or Linux. Double click, install, and that's it. No, Akshit, you just need the device. That's it. You just need a device to run, Akshit. If you're developing it using Flutter, you just need a device to run. Or you can also what you call install Mac OS in your Windows computer in a VM. So that is one option. Otherwise, develop it in Windows but run in what you call a real device. So that is one option, so that you don't have to use MacBook, right? So yes, so you can work without MacBook, but you should have a real device then to test it. Is that clear, everyone? But yes, for development, you don't need MacBook. If you're working with Flutter, you can do it in what you call Windows or any operating system. It's totally fine. Okay, guys. So now, To confirm, okay, now the next thing I told you to install was VS Code, right? So now you also install VS Code. So these are the three things that you should need. First, download Android Studio, set up your Android virtual device. The next thing, download Flutter SDK, set up, like put it in the proper folders, set up the path of the bin in user variables in environment variable. Next thing, right? And now third thing is install VS Code. Now, if you have these three things, let's go and check if the Flutter environment is ready. So now to check if Flutter environment is ready or not, there is a very simple command that you have to run that is provided by Flutter. That is Flutter doctor. You run this command and it will tell you everything, right? If you have installed everything correctly that is needed to develop Flutter applications. If you have missing something, if you're missing something, it will show you what are you missing and how to correct it. So let's see. Let's run Flutter doctor. Okay, Shad, can I see your error, buddy? I think you're not here right now. Can I see your error? Because see, just by reading connection closed, I can't tell you what exactly is the problem. I think it might be some internet issue or memory issue. So please, can you paste the whole warning here so that I can see what exactly is your error? Okay, it's fixed. That is great, buddy. What was the problem? Can you tell us? You retried. Okay, so that's amazing. So basically, it was some kind of internet problem or memory problem. That's why your connection was closed. But that's fine now. That's amazing. So now, guys, you can see it is telling me Flutter, cool, checked. It is working. Android toolchain, yes, completely working. It's basically your Android SDK thing. Chrome, yes, you have Chrome. Cool, done. Do you have Android Studio? Yes, I have it. Check. Do I have VS Code? Yes, I have it. Check. Do I have a connected device? So basically, when I develop applications, this is a device that I use, right? So it is already connected to my PC, so that's fine. I'll also teach you how to do it. So don't worry about it. Is that clear? So there is a connected device, but that is not mandatory for development. You can always use the emulator, but that is cool. Is that clear, everyone? Are we cleared with this thing? Everyone, are we cleared with this thing? So you just run Flutter Doctor. If everything is checked, that means you're good to go. Okay, great, great. Now then, let's move ahead and let's create a Flutter application, because right now you only have Flutter SDK. You don't have an application. Yes, Rahul Datta. Yes, even I have 8 GB RAM. Yes, so that's fine, Rahul. 8 GB RAM should be good for you because see, I have 8 GB RAM, but my laptop is like 6 years old. So if your laptop is new and you have 8 GB RAM, then that's really great. So 8 GB RAM is cool. Great. So now, guys, the next thing that I want you people to do is, so now see, we have the Flutter SDK, but now we have to learn how to create a Flutter project. Okay, and that is very easy. So now the next thing that we'll open is VS Code. Okay, so just go on VS, like in your PC, search for it. If I've installed it, open it. Okay, so let me open it. Okay, it is opening. It is taking a little time because a lot of things are already opened here. Okay, so now it has opened. It's taking a little time because a lot of things are open currently here. Let's close the windows. Cool. Now see, this is like already a project that I'm working on. That's fine. I'll just close it. Actually, I have installed it for you only, but right now we are not using it. So I'll just open a new window here. Okay, so that we have a blank window. We don't have this old window because I want to show you everything fresh, right? Okay, cool. This, okay, now I think I can change the, what you call this, resolution, right? Because now I can zoom VS Code. So let's change it because I cannot see the upper part of VS Code. So let's do it. That's great, Shivam. That's great. That's cool. But yes, you can also move on to Flutter. That's amazing. If you're already using Java for your Android application development, that's great. That's amazing thing. Okay, now let's, I'm again changing the resolution. So yes, applied it again. Okay, guys, it is taking a little time. Just give me a second. Okay, now I have it. Keep changes. Cool. Close it. And now I can see the complete VS Code. Open it. Okay, and now let's see how to create a new Flutter project. But before that, what I'm going to do is I'll start the emulator, whatever I have created. So let's do it. Let's go on to this. Now see, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start my emulator. I'm going to start my device. So basically, it's like I will have a phone available in my computer where I can run applications, right? So let's do it. So here we have, this is start button. So let's launch this virtual device that we just created. It will take a minute or two because it's the first time you're launching it. So for the first time, when you launch an Android virtual device, it will take a little time. So don't worry about it. Again, it depends on your RAM. That's great. That's cool, Shad. See, you can see what to resolve this. Run Flutter Doctor hyphen Android hyphen licenses. So you already have the answer there. See, you can see it. This is the toolchain problem, right? So don't worry about it. In your command prompt, just run Flutter Doctor hyphen Android hyphen licenses. That's it, Shad. In the error, you have the answer. To resolve this, run that command. So just run it. It will work for you. Tried that too. No, it should work. Then again, you have any error or something like that? What is that command doing then? It's taking a little time. Have I clicked it or not? Launch. Oh, I didn't click it. I'm so sorry. So dumb of me. Okay, Shad. Is that clear? Just try. Okay. After trying, what are you getting? Can you tell me that after trying that command, flutter doctor hyphen Android hyphen licenses, and also restart your command prompt once after running that command. Restart your command prompt once. Yes, you have to accept. Have you accepted, Shad? I'm assuming that you have accepted all the licenses. You have to accept all the licenses. After that, you can do it. You have to accept all the licenses for different devices. Okay, guys, just wait a minute. It will start. The minute will start. Don't worry. Here we go. It is starting. And here we go. You can see a free phone that we have purchased from Android Studio, right? So if you want, you can close this like below things. You don't need it anymore. Just close this Android Studio and everything because you just need the emulator. That's it, right? So you can close all of that. See, always close the things that you don't need because while development, they take up space, they take up memory. So always close the things that you're not working on. Even a Chrome tab, it takes a lot of RAM. So even if you're not working with a Chrome tab, just close it so that you can utilize your PC to the fullest, right? So right now, even I don't want VS Code because right now I just want the emulator to open. Okay. So I think for today, I'll just show you the emulator, and from tomorrow, I'll start with how to create a Flutter project, how to run it, and also working with Dart. We'll start everything tomorrow. So let's open the emulator and see it. It will take a little time. It's just like switching on a device. And again, it's the first time, so it will take a little time. And as you can see, it is turning pink because it has a pink wallpaper in the background. I hope you can see it. And see, if you just now see, it's just like a normal phone, right? You can see you have all of this, right? Clock, contacts, and everything. Then you have the search apps. So you have a lot of things. You have this recent apps button. You have this back to home, right? You have this back button. So that's great. I also have the Wi-Fi connected. Okay. So I hope everyone is understanding this. So this is an emulator. This is what you call an Android virtual device. Is it clear to everyone, guys? So now you tell me, is the setup clear to everyone? How to settle up, how to download Android Studio, and how to settle up an Android virtual device, how to set up that, and then how to download the Flutter SDK, how to create the path, how to update the path, and how to basically open an emulator. Is everything clear to everyone? So that is really great. That is amazing. So the first thing tomorrow that we'll learn is how to create a Flutter project, right? And after that, we'll run it. I'll show you the output in the emulator, and I'll also show you the output in a real device. And then before starting the application development process, first thing we'll learn is how to work with Dart. What are the basics of Dart, right? So all the variable things and loops, classes, how do they look in Dart language? That is what we're going to learn tomorrow, the first thing. So for tomorrow, we'll have how to run your Flutter, how to create a Flutter project, how to run your Flutter project, how to see it in your emulator, how to run your application in a real device. And after that, we'll start with Dart. And maybe from I think today is Wednesday, right? So maybe from Friday, we'll start with the actual application development, learning the actual Flutter, the designing and everything, right? So I hope it is clear to everyone, guys. Okay, Mandeep is saying unka device is like getting bigger than the actual screen. So see, Mandeep, you can just see, you have this option. You can just scale it down. See, something like this. So just scale it down. Just you can just make it small by extending it. Make it big by, so just like a normal window. So you can do that, Mandeep. If it is going outside your PC, you can just do that. Scroll it down. Not scroll, just resize it. That's it. Stretch it. Is it clear, everyone? Yes, Akshit, it is a lot similar to C++ and JavaScript. So it follows the traits of C++ and JavaScript. So don't worry. I'm going to teach you tomorrow everything. Yes, Abhishek, that is what I'm going to teach you tomorrow. As I explained, I will show you how to run your applications in emulator. I will also show you how to run your application in a real device so that you know both and you can use both. By using USB, we're going to use a USB, Rahul. Tomorrow we'll need a USB. Okay, so yes, tomorrow I'm going to explain you everything. Don't worry about it. I'm going to explain you everything. Okay. मनदीप, क्या आपका स्क्रीन पूरा दिख रहा है? लाइक आप बोल रहे हो कि आपका पिंक बैकग्राउंड हाफ दिख रहा है, क्या आपका मोबाइल स्क्रीन पूरा दिख रहा है? अगर वो पूरा दिख रहा है इसका मतलब इट्स फाइन, आपका लाइक मोबाइल डिवाइस छोटा है करके वो वॉलपेपर हाफ दिख रहा है, बट क्या आपका स्क्रीन पूरा दिख रहा है? ये बॉर्डर्स क्या आपको पूरे दिख रहे हैं? अगर ये बॉर्डर्स पूरे नहीं दिख रहे मतलब वो वहां पे प्रॉब्लम है. Okay, so I hope everyone is cleared, and Ahmed is asking throughout the course what is necessary. All these things, that's it. You need a virtual device, Android Studio, VS Code, that's it, and Flutter SDK that we already downloaded. So that's it, that's all you need. That's great, Shad. If you know Python, it's cool. If you know Python, it's cool. Okay, it will still work. If you know any other programming language, Dart is very easy, don't worry. मनदीप, मतलब आपका पीसी थोड़ा स्लो काम कर रहा है. अगर आपका हाफ डिवाइस लोड हुआ है मतलब आपका पीसी थोड़ा स्लो काम कर रहा है. Nishit, ultimate aim of this course is to learn how to develop applications. Yes, see, this is an essential course, right? We only have 5 or 6 days, right? So I'm going to show you how to start with basic applications, how to create applications, how to run them in your phone, how to create APKs. But yes, we also have an advanced course for this where I'm going to teach you literally everything about application development. You see that maps, searching, shopping apps, everything, right? How to create them, how they work and everything. So yes, tomorrow 8 o'clock. So that is what we mean by same time. You have to meet us at 8 o'clock. Okay, so I need everyone there. I hope everyone from today at least will be there, and also inform your friends to attend these lectures, because I really hope that you're understanding everything, you're learning a lot. So please also inform your friends and let them learn too. Okay, so then
everyone,
yes.
okay, so everyone, I hope you just liked today's session and got very much great information about mobile app development and Flutter, how to install Flutter, what is Dart. We'll use Dart, and we also downloaded Android Studio. We installed Flutter. We knew about Flutter SDK. We knew about emulator. So all these things were covered in today's session. As you all know, today is the day one of and batch 1 of March. I would like to inform everybody that from tomorrow, the YouTube session will not be there. Our session will be on LMS portal, on Let's Upgrade portal. So I would like everybody to who haven't registered till now, register on our website at letsupgrade.in. Then you will the LMS portal will be available through my programs. I have given the link of that in the chat box just 2 minutes before, so just you can view that, and through that you can attend our sessions from tomorrow, as from tomorrow's all the 4 classes will be at LMS portal. So I hope everybody is clear with that. And everybody, please mark your attendances. For the people who are viewing from LMS portal, you have the tab at the right side, and people who are viewing from YouTube, I have provided the attendance form. And yeah, thank you everyone for this great session.
Okay.
I hope you all loved it.
Yes. Umang, I just want to answer a few things here.
Yeah, yeah,
So
sir.
yes, we are going to create a startup application at the end. So yes, I'm going to teach you how to actually create an application in the end of this essential course. And in the advanced, we're going to create a lot of applications. So don't worry about it. And Pragati, yes, tomorrow I'm going to teach you how to connect it with real device. So don't worry at all. Okay. Okay then, guys. So see you all tomorrow. I hope you like the session. Bye bye from my side.